Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you compare quotes from multiple local pros, browse homeowner reviews, and even book a service instantly. Angie's been connecting people with skilled pros for nearly 30 years. So the next time you have a home project, bring it to Angie to get your job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
So wait, how is this helping you?
Credit-wise, ma'am.
Why? Do you have bad credit?
Not entirely. Now I do.
But you were hoping that the payments made by a person with bad credit would up your credit?
This is the plaintiff, Edward Grice. He says the defendant, his ex-girlfriend, pleaded with him because she needed a car, so he helped her out on a lease. The woman ended up crashing the car, collecting the insurance money, pocketing it, and he's the one responsible for the repairs. He's now in financial straits because the defendant took advantage of his kindness and is suing her for the $5,000 he's on the hook for. This is the defendant, Denise Beard. She says she and the plaintiff broke up because he was too possessive and jealous. Unfortunately, she was rear-ended. The insurance check she got to pay off damages got stolen, and she was figuring out a way to pay the repair shop when the plaintiff took it upon himself to pay them off on his own. Now he has the car, and here they are in court. She's accused of getting carried away over a car.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Edward Grice, you are suing your former girlfriend, Denise Beard. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for $5,000 that you say you are out as a result of a car accident she had where she pocketed the insurance money. Okay, what exactly is going on here?
All right. Well, Your Honor, just before August 8th of last year, Ms. Beard, she came to me to help her get a car because she needed it for employment.
Okay, back it up. How long had you been dating?
6 months, I suppose, but we've been knowing each other since 1997, and off and on, we've had these kind of,
okay.
relationships.
So she comes up to you and she says, I need a car.
Yeah.
And so why didn't she go get her car that she needed?
Her credit wasn't to par for us.
How do you get bad credit?
Being late with payments, not paying at all, I suppose.
Right. And you go out and extend your credit for what kind of car?
A BMW.
Was it new or old?
It's a new lease.
A new lease on a BMW?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
No,
on the
yes,
hope and the prayer that she would end up paying. Okay, how'd that work out for you?
Well, the agreement was, I'll help you with the car. You can help me at the same time. I'll help you with the car so you can keep your job. But you will take care of you're going to take care of the car notes. And she agreed to take care of the car notes and to pay the insurance while she had, while she was in operation of the vehicle. So she agreed. And that was it. August 8th, we left the car lot with the car.
So wait, how is this helping you?
Credit-wise, ma'am.
Why? Do you have bad credit?
Not entirely. Now I do.
But you were hoping that the payments made by a person with bad credit would up your credit?
Well, they wouldn't have known. They would just know that the payments were being made.
No, I know they wouldn't have known. But the odds were against you, that she was going to make her payments since she's known for not making them. And then what was in it for you, when I asked you what was in it for you, it can only be one of two things. You're king of the castle, big man on campus, giving your girl a BMW, or you just said, improving my credit. Yes, having a loan and paying it off can improve your credit, but not when she's the one who's paying it. Get it? You just didn't get it then.
No, man.
Okay.
She had a job, so she says. She had a job, and soon after, then she didn't have a job, and she was paid workers' comp, and so forth. And I got a letter or two stating the car payments were behind. Well, that was due to a situation where she backed up the payments or changed the payment date. So something happened in between, and I let it go. And she continued, I guess, to pay another month or so until she had the accident on October the 15th.
So that's how long after you got her the car did she have an accident?
2 months.
2 months. And then she gets into an accident. Is it her fault or not her fault?
No fault.
Not her fault.
Yes.
The car gets taken into a shop. She picks the shop?
Yes.
Okay. And then she leaves the car there. What's the date of the accident, ma'am?
October 15th, 2015.
Okay. Had the October payment been made?
Yes.
All right. How much did you put down on that car?
10 days later, they only required the first month's payment, which was $750.
Is that the total you put down on the car?
That and the insurance.
But that's not putting down on a car. Insurance is something you got to pay for. That's kind of the...
So no, it was probably
So
about $750. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys dating still? Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so now you end up in a car accident that is not your fault.
Right.
And what happened in the accident?
Well, I was sitting at the light waiting to bear to the left, and a guy just rammed right in the back of me.
The back of you?
Yes.
What happened? He wasn't paying attention, didn't see a red light?
He was texting.
He was texting.
Yeah. He
All
was
right.
speeding and texting.
Did he have insurance?
Yes.
All right, did you end up in the hospital?
I went the next day.
All right, do you have a lawsuit pending on this?
Yes.
Or did you already get paid?
No. It's
Okay.
still pending.
Do you have a personal injury lawsuit pending?
Yes.
Do you have a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. What is wrong with you as a result of the accident?
I had neck whiplash back.
Okay, what happened with the car, though?
The car was the bumper and the rear.
No, what happened with the repair of the car? Because the insurance company wrote you a check to fix the car. How much was that check?
It was for $3,786, I think, 86.
And of course, you paid for the car repair. You gave it to the repair company so they could start the repairs or finish the repairs. Or
Right, but I didn't take the car to the repair that fast because I kept hearing horror stories that, oh, make sure you don't go to the wrong place because they'll substitute parts. And
when did you take the car in for the repair?
I want to say it was October the 28th.
So let's say you take the car in October 28th for the repair. You received the check from the insurance company for $3,700 when?
October I want to say 18th.
How could you get it before? Oh, because you picked a different place to fix it.
Well, they sent me somewhere, and the appraiser, I didn't even know it was going to happen like this.
Okay, so your car's in the first place. The appraiser looks at it, and the appraiser appraises it. And you get a check on October 18th, which is 3 days after the accident, for $3,700. And what happens with that check?
Well, my bank is in Florida, so I just cashed it, and at the
Cashed
bank.
it where?
At the bank that it was bared on, which was Bank of America. So my plan was to put it in Wells Fargo in my son's account because the bank that I have, Fifth Third Bank, is in his area where he lives in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Why would you put the money in Raleigh, North Carolina?
No, because my bank is in Florida, but the nearest one from New York, it was in North Carolina, and I said, well, since my son...
I'm sorry, why don't you just take the money and bring it over to the car place and pay the
I
thing?
hadn't taken it to the car place yet.
Okay,
So
but your
I was
plan
doing
was you had this
research.
convoluted plan where you're going to do what with the money?
No, I was just going to use my debit card to pay for it.
Where were you going to put the $3,700?
In my bank account.
Which is where?
Fifth Third Bank in Florida.
Right, but where physically were you going to put that money since you're not going to fly to Florida to put it in there? Do they have a branch here?
No, that's why I said I was going to put it in my son's account.
Which has a branch here?
Which has Wells Fargo here.
Okay.
And he was going to go to the nearest Fifth Third Bank where he lives and deposit it for me.
In Raleigh? In North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of just paying for the repair, you were going to put the money in a Wells Fargo account of your son's, He was going to get it in North Carolina and physically take it to Florida and put it in your bank. Why don't you just go buy a money order with it?
No, there's a Fifth Third Bank in North Carolina.
Don't you? Oh, it sounds so simple. Crazy me. I had made it so complicated. And here it was so simple. You're going to put it in a Wells Fargo account of your son's in New York. Your son's going to, in North Carolina, take it out of the Wells Fargo account and put it in a branch of your Florida bank. That's how you were going to do it. And then you were going to go across the street and write a check.
No.
Oh, crazy me. All right, I got it. What happened with the money, honey?
What happened was...
Because you never paid the repair, did you?
No. What happened was I went, like I said, and cashed the check. The teller put it in an envelope. I put the envelope, stuck it in my bag, went to meet with some friends. We went to a lounge bar to have dinner and some drinks. And so I got home, went to bed, showered, did that, woke up and said, okay, I called my son. I said, look, I'm going to run to Wells Fargo. I'm going to put the money in. Just make sure you get it in the account today. Mm-hmm. So as I go into the bank, I went in and I'm looking for the envelope. It's not there.
Oh, no.
So.
Did you buy a word of that?
Your Honor, being a little sarcastic, I was born yesterday, but not last night.
Yes, Mr. Grice, that is a load of malarkey, okay? She cashed a check and she went clubbing, is what she did. And even if she went clubbing and lost at clubbing, that's on her. So what happens then? When do you wake up and realize that there's no car and no payments?
Well, it was a couple of weeks that she had put it in that I started asking her, are you
Who made the car payment for November?
I did.
Who made the car payment for December?
All the way through to present.
Okay.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you start making the car payments, and why are you making the car payments? Why do you make her make the car payments if it's supposed to be her obligation?
Well, she no longer have the car.
What was your plan when the car was fixed? Because if I have a car and I have car payments and the car's getting fixed, I still have to make my car payments. Nobody is going to. So why was she not having to make her car payment?
Because, I told her, I had mentioned to her, I says, look, we was going to write out, we was going to sign a lesser to leasee agreement. She had asked for it, and I typed it up. And when it came time for her to sign it or to at least look at it or whatever the case is, she says, well, my lawyer says it's invalid. I says, well, what do you mean? She says, it's supposed to come from B&W. If anything, any agreement is supposed to come from B&W. I says, well,
when did you break up with her? Please tell me you broke up with her. She dumped you?
No, ma'am. I mean, it was just.
When did you break up?
I'd say soon after, when I gave the gentleman the money for the repair of the car. And that must have been somewhere.
So between October and December, you paid the car note and you were still dating her?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
No, ma'am.
So then it wasn't December when you paid for the car. When did you pay for the car?
The car was paid for December 11th.
So the accident's in October. You paid the guy in December. You say that you two break up once you had to pay the guy. So between October and December, she's not paying the car. You're paying it, and you guys are still dating?
No, ma'am.
So when did you guys break up?
As far as I'm concerned, it was just between after she had the accident.
Okay. How did you break up? Why did you break up?
If I'm going to have a relationship, ma'am, my lady definitely can't come in the house 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes overnight, et cetera, when there's daybreak. And when you ask her where you been, oh, what do you mean where? I've been out, huh? We don't have that type of relationship. You don't have to ask me where I've been and so forth. You don't have a ring on my. So I got really kind of.
Why did you guys break up?
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you help an ex-girlfriend who has bad credit and co-sign on a lease?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Why not?
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
Why not?
I
like
bad
breakups?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah. What would you or not? I mean,
Never.
she could.
Never, I wouldn't.
Why?
That's just crazy. I don't know. It's just insane to do that.
She may not be a horrible person, right? I mean, she may not be a horrible person.
She may not be, but if she's got bad credit, then I don't want anything to do with it.
So it doesn't have to do with being an ex. It has to do with bad credit.
Bad credit, correct.
Oh no, but for you, it has to do with being an ex. I gotcha. I gotcha. Going inside the courtroom.
Well, we broke up because of the last incident that occurred. I came in at 12:30, and he said, "Why didn't you call me?" I said, "I did, but you didn't answer the phone." So I said, "But it's 12:30. You know, you knew I was going out with some friends." So he says, "Oh, well, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you." Next thing I know, he called the police. Matter of fact, my friend was on speakerphone and heard it all, and I said,
okay,
so
I'm done. All right. Can I ask you, you had to pay, show me the proof of what you had to pay there. $3,700 in repairs?
$3,786, ma'am, plus a parking ticket of $75.
Did you have to pay storage fees?
$600, ma'am.
May I see the proof of what you paid?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is your defense? I want to hear from you now. What did he say to you that made you feel like you don't have to make any more car payments?
Well, no, the car payments wasn't an issue.
Did you make the November car payment?
I made August, September, October, and November.
You made a November. Show me proof that you paid October and November.
I used a prepaid card, and I was trying to get them.
Show me proof that you paid October and November.
Oh.
You don't have proof. All right, and you say she didn't. That's a lie. You paid it.
If my memory serves me correctly, I started
so you don't have proof that you paid October and November either? Who's got the car now, guys?
I have it, ma'am.
Okay, so you went in, you got sick of it, got sick of waiting. The car had been there 2 months. The car had been repaired, so they were now charging storage fees, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, so you ended up paying $3,700 plus $600. And what's with the ticket? Show me proof of the ticket. Speeding in a school zone photo. So I guess that's one of the photo cameras?
Yes, ma'am.
October 27th, except for that, who was driving at October 27th? If the issue date was October 27th, that's after the car accident. Was the car drivable after the accident?
It was drivable, yes.
What day did you drop the car off in wherever you took it in order to be repaired?
It had to be
You said the end of October. This is a ticket that was issued with that car driving on October 27th. Who else's would it be besides yours? The answer is no one's. All right.
Ma'am.
Yeah. The only other thing that you're asking for is pain and suffering.
Yes, ma'am.
Why should you be entitled to a cent for pain and suffering? You picked her. You decided to lavish a BMW on her. You got exactly what you deserved. What here is so wrong that you should get pain and suffering? Tell me. I'm dying to know.
Humiliation, forgetting things.
Yes, you should be humiliated. You should be publicly humiliated so this never happens to you or anybody within the sound of your voice again. That is precisely what should be happening. All right? However, based on everything I have heard, and you know what's going to happen now, because can you prove to me that you paid October and November?
I paid. He didn't pay it. I paid it.
Can you prove to me that you paid it?
I couldn't
because his decision to take over the car comes from two different things. One is you're not paying for the car, and two is you're not paying for the repair of the car.
Well, he can't.
So once you neglect the car and abandon the car somewhere, he's trying to save his credit, and he's trying to save his name, and he's trying to save the car from being taken away and a lien on it. So he goes and fixes it, and then he's not going to give it to you. So he's right not to give it to you at that point.
Your Honor, he took the car, and I told him not to. I was going to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. We know how you do stuff.
No.
We know how you do stuff. You buy a BMW, you can, don't worry about it, it'll work out.
It's not.
You got a lawsuit here, lawsuit there. Sugar daddy who gets you the BMW who's a fool. I know how you do. Don't worry about it, leave it there. It's your credit, it's not her. She's not worried about it. Please, just stop. My verdict is for the plaintiff and the amount of the car repairs, the storage fee, and the ticket. That's $4,461.18. Verdict for the plaintiff. Pay the man.
And with that, the defendant exits the courtroom, hearing the judge rule against you. What's your comment?
Well, I think a lot was just assumption, and I mean, he made the decision to go ahead and take the car, and I was the one suffering because I had to pay for the down payment, the insurance, and he claims he paid it, but he didn't pick it up till December. So
Did you scam that man?
No, it wasn't about scam. It was just the collision situation.
When did the relationship, you or him?
We both felt it was
mutual
time. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, as knowing Ms. Beard from previous years, that is her constitution. That is the type of person she is. Legally, she has some legal matters. Why do you have this relationship with her for so many years if that's the way she is? My craft in life is to help individuals. Have
you learned a lesson here?
Absolutely.
What, stop helping people, or what is
No.
Stop doing your job?
No, stop helping those who's not going to help themselves.
How do you know? Harvey?
Okay, I will just say 100%, very few things are set in stone. This is never co-sign for anybody who has bad credit. Period. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. With over 122 million parts, you can make sure your number one ride or die stays running smoothly. Brake kits, LED headlights, bumpers, whatever your baby needs, eBay Motors has it. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time. Plus, at these prices, you're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Andrew Dion. He says he rented space in the defendant's warehouse to store some of his belongings, and the guy let other people in, and the place was ransacked. But that wasn't bad enough. The defendant then took it upon himself to toss the rest of his stuff. He had no right to do that, since he was all paid up, and he's here suing him for the $1,600 he's owed. This is the defendant, Robin Chang. He says the area the plaintiff rented was an open space, and he knew others were renting there too. Then the guy disappeared, stopped paying the rent, thereby breaking his lease and abandoning the junk he left behind. Owe this guy money for a trumped-up list of things he claims are missing? He's accused of throwing it all away. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $200. The cost to remove the plaintiff's junk.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented space from the defendant. The place he rented got looted, and he lost some of his stuff. The landlord threw out the rest. Now the defendant says the guy abandoned it. It's the case of Space Case.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Andrew Dion?
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing Robin Chang and International Parallel Machines Incorporated for $1,600 that you say you are owed. You just amended that, right? It was $1,400 until today. $1,600 that you say you are owed in items you had in storage, which he got rid of. According to you, you got rid of them because he stopped paying and left them behind. You also have a counterclaim against him for $200 that you are, according to you, are still owed to remove and clean the debris he left behind. Let me hear from you first, Mr. Dion. What happened here?
I went on Craigslist looking for a storage space. I buy storage lockers, so I need a place to store more stuff because I overbought. He had it out on there.
What do you do with the storage lockers you buy?
We usually sell at yard sales, flea markets, stuff like that.
Who's we?
Me, my mother, and my employee.
Okay.
So we overbought this time. We got a good deal, so we bought extra. Needed a place to store it. So I went on Craigslist. I found his ad for storage space available. It says secure, clean storage. So we went there. We looked at the warehouse. It was a full floor of warehouse. He said nobody else is renting it. You can have the warehouse space. I said, okay. We went in a few times, Walt, to check on our stuff. Walt was there to add stuff, go through things. He says, you don't know what you're getting when you buy it. You have to go through it. So we went in there to do that. We realized that all the boxes had been torn open. It was just ransacked. I made a complaint to Mr. Chang about this.
Okay, how long had your stuff been in there before you noticed that?
Not even 2 weeks.
Okay. And this was what month and year?
This was June.
Of?
June is when I rented of 2015.
Okay.
Well, let me backtrack for a second. I actually, when I rented the space, he asked for first and last month's rent, which
How much
I paid
was that?
him. I think it was $800.
How much were you paying him rent?
I think it was $400 for 2 spaces for the whole mill to use
So
it.
how much are you paying him rent? $400 a month?
$400 a month.
Do you have did you sign a lease?
He did have us sign a lease. He was supposed to get us a copy of it.
Okay, but you don't release something without taking a picture of each page or insisting on a copy right then. So the bottom line is you signed a legal document, you have no idea what it says. Because you don't have it.
Well, I read what it said, but he was supposed to get us a copy of it. Well,
Okay.
no, not exactly,
Can I please
Your
have
Honor.
the lease?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're paying $200 a month.
Yeah, he doubled it afterwards. That's why he
I'm sorry.
He tried to double it
You can't
after.
just double it.
Well, that's-
No, but stop. I need proof that you paid him double the rent by accident, I guess. I don't know what you're saying.
I don't have it. I paid the first and last month security. The first month and last month is what I gave him.
How much money do you say you paid on day one?
He got $400 on day one.
Day one, you got $400.
He got $400.
And that represented what?
It was supposed to be the first and last month's rent according
Then
to
the rent
him.
is $200 a month. If it's first and last month's rent, you divide it by 2. If you divide 400 by 2, then each month is 200, not 500,
Your
not like you said in your statement, not 400 a month like you're saying now. The agreement is $200 a month. That's why you paid 400 because that was first and last. You get it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes,
so you
Your
pay him 400 that day. What else did you ever pay him?
Nothing. So I was only 2 weeks into it that we had a problem.
Okay, so 2 weeks into it, you go in, and it appears to you, or how do you know things have been ransacked?
Everything is everywhere. Boxes are all torn up. They're upside down. Everything is just gone through.
Okay, now
These boxes was neatly taped and stored.
who had access to the place?
He did. He closed. When we rented it, we were understanding that was a locked door behind us. Then when we went in there, we realized that he had people living in the mill. The guy had a dog in there.
Without a locked door behind you?
Without a lock. The door does lock. When you go up the elevator, there's like a shaft elevator. You go up it, there's one giant door, like an old 1800 door. You open it, the warehouse is open.
Okay, what was he renting out?
The warehouse, the floor.
Okay, to you. And then, according to you, he started to rent out what to separate people?
No. He didn't rent out separately. He has on the other floors.
Other floors?
Yeah, he has people that have you go down a couple of steps, and there's rooms.
How did those people have access to your floor?
It's right by the elevator.
All they have to do is go up and then the elevator doors? I thought you said there was a door.
It was supposed to be locked. There's no lock on it.
Okay, so what you're saying is how do you know he didn't lock it?
Because there was no lock on it when we went up there when we first rented it.
And then you trusted when he said, I'll put a lock on it?
Yes.
Then you go back in 2 weeks, is there a lock on it?
No, there was no lock in 2 weeks.
Okay, and you walk in and there's stuff missing?
Yes, there's stuff
You tell
missing.
him, hey, there's stuff missing?
Yes.
And what does he say?
He said, it's not my control. He goes, I keep the door closed. I said, well, keep the door closed.
Closed or locked?
Closed.
Okay, did you say, well, do you keep it locked?
I asked for a lock to be put on the door. I said, we need to lock this because my stuff's up here.
Okay, so you asked for a lock on that 2 week mark after things are missing, and what did he say?
He said his exact words were, nobody can get in there, nobody goes in there. My tenants are respectful.
Do people on another floor have access to that?
Normally, no. There's a door. May I?
Yeah, please come up, because I think you're the guy who handed us his floor plan, and he's saying this floor plan is...
There's a door here that Andrew is talking about, and there are 5 tenants here that occupy...
Residential?
No, they're like internet companies.
Okay.
And there's a door here that's normally locked. However, this space is open storage that we rented out one bay to him, and there's a floor plan on it with the lease, and then sometimes you see during the day there are people here using the doors, so sometimes the doors open.
Wait, why are they using the door? Why isn't his stuff locked away?
Because the whole place is locked, and these at that time there were 3 tenants in here.
Oh, so he doesn't have the whole place? He only has one bay in it?
Correct.
Why isn't his bay locked? Why are there other tenants with access to his stuff?
It's open. It's not self-storage space. It's assisted storage, and I don't give anybody the key.
Tenants lease space, 1,000 square feet more or less, on the 4th floor, as depicted by the attached floor plan. And then this is the attached floor plan to the lease. And this little part here is the part he gets?
Correct. And since it's
and
open
it's all
space,
open.
Yeah.
Now, at the time that he rented, nobody else was using it?
There were other two
There were
tenants.
other people?
Yes.
What separates his bay from other people's bay?
Just the poles.
Poles, and that's it?
That's why we don't let the tenants go in. We accompany them.
Okay.
When they go in.
So how did he get in if you didn't let him in?
Oh, that's my question. Okay,
Did you get a key from one of the other tenants?
Nobody has a key.
How did you ever get in? The time that you went in with them?
The door is wide open, and then you go up to the elevator and you open the door, and it's there.
Go ahead and go back. You go in there and there's stuff missing. You tell him you want a lock, and what happens?
He doesn't put one. I told him I was going to be leaving. I said, this is not secure enough for me. I'm going to pack my stuff and I'm going to move.
Did you pack your stuff and leave?
Yes, we did. We started. We took 2 trailers out of there. We came back. He had already put a lock on the door.
Okay.
And now he locked us out.
Okay, now hold on. What month is this when that happens?
This is the beginning of July.
Okay, and you had paid June and July, I guess, because you had paid 2 months.
Yes.
So according to you, he locks you out in the beginning of July.
Yes.
And he had 2 months from you.
Yes.
Okay, did you call the police when you went and...
We did.
When you say locked you out, he put a lock like you had asked him to.
Yeah.
Okay, did you call him and say, I need to get in there to get the rest of my stuff out?
I did. He wouldn't answer. He didn't. The only time he ever talked to me, he actually called me like 20 times over a pizza box. Because we were working there with a bunch of guys and we ordered pizza. So there was an empty box there. And
when was that?
The end of June, before we started moving out.
Okay, do you have any evidence that you would call him and he would not respond to your calls once the lock that you requested got put on, such that he was denying you access to the place in July? Do you have any texts from you to him, emails from you to him, letters, snail mail?
No, we just go there.
Phone records?
I have Metro. They don't do those. We tried that already. I went there for those.
I mean, any evidence at all that you were trying to reach out to him and he wasn't responding to your call?
We did have the police department show up.
When?
In beginning of July.
Okay.
We did have.
Do you have any evidence the police department showed up?
No, because they said it was civil. They don't do reports if it's a civil matter. That's why we had to go to small claims court with it.
So go ahead.
After the lock was put on, we went back there again. He finally did give us access. We went up there. Almost everything was gone. We questioned him before we called the police department on where the stuff had gone. He had another man put an ad on Craigslist to give my stuff away.
How do you know what you're saying?
Because he told me.
When did you, okay, at some point, according to you, he just stops paying rent.
Well, he never paid me since the first time he paid me $400.
Right. But so the first time he pays you is in June. That covers June to July, right? June what to July what?
It's the first and last month.
First to the end of this, so it covers June. Then you have last month, and he, according to him, he tells you in July, I'm leaving. Is that true?
Well, first of all, we signed a 1-year lease,
right.
And he's not supposed to leave in the middle.
Leave. Okay, but if he has a dispute with you, and he feels like it's not secure there, and he says, I'm going to move my stuff out, your remedy, of course, is to go to court and sue him for if you are losing rent money or whatever else. But according to him, he's calling you and asking you to let him in so he can get his stuff out. Is that true?
Well, before that, the second month,
July.
He did not pay me.
Right.
And I called and I called and I called and nobody ever answered.
Okay.
So
do you have any proof that you called him?
No.
And how did you call him? On your cell phone?
I use my office phone.
Why are you going like this? You have a rotary phone in your office? And then what happens?
I have another tenant in one of those 5 spaces.
Okay.
And he sent me this email.
Okay.
Which is in the evidence.
Okay, let me see it. So you received this email from one of the tenants saying, I have 2 interested parties for the removal of the 4th floor abandoned stuff. All right, that's on August 21st.
Yes.
But I need your help. This is from him to you. Please have your guys remove the stuff from the electrical and put it out next to the other stuff so they can see it all when they come. They will not look at it in this condition. Most importantly, boxes of material and cardboard are pressed up against the fuses. If you are smart, you will have the guys remove all of the stuff immediately. If the fire department ever saw that, it would be the end for you. All right.
Well, I have to mention...
okay, hold on. This is August 21st, so this is nearing the end of August, because according to you, were you able to reach him in July or August?
No.
See, the question is, he is telling me, yes, Judge, end of August, I tried to get rid of his stuff. He agrees, okay? But the question is, does he have a right to do that? Because he can't find you That's why I need to see phone records, emails, texts, some kind of evidence of reaching each other. That's very important in a case like this. So how did you get rid of his stuff?
This tenant helped me. He
How much money did you make getting rid of his stuff?
Nothing. It was free.
Oh, you just wanted it out of there.
Well,
So why are you counterclaiming for $200 for having to get rid of his stuff?
The tenant, okay, the tenant put an ad in the Craigslist for them to get rid of the junk. And then
What
this
was
family
there? When
came.
you say junk, what was it that was there? Because he says that it was 6 air conditioners, 4 humidifiers, 6 television sets, 2 boxes of electronics and DVD players, 6 boxes of household items, I don't know what that is, rims for a truck, and some truck parts. That's what he says was in there.
In fact, he had so many TVs, there were some on the loading dock downstairs.
Okay, what kind of TVs were
And these are old with the CRT tube TVs.
Okay.
And he...
Let me ask you a question. Is this a lease you signed? Does anyone have pictures of the space or pictures of the stuff in the space? Or
Yes.
You do? All right, my bailiff will get it from you in a moment.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a yes, Your Honor.
The first 6 were taken in September. The last one was taken in August.
What is this a picture of, though?
This is a picture of the space that he's renting.
Okay, but all the junk I'm seeing here is somebody
Yes.
else's.
See, the recycle company came and they took only the metal. They didn't take the rest of the stuff and disappeared. And they never paid anybody.
Did you get rid of the rest of the stuff?
Eventually, yes. I waited several months before I got rid of them because I was...
Do you have proof that it cost you $200 to get rid of it?
It's my people. My people came
Okay,
and,
so
and
that
went
would be
in
a
and
no.
put in the
Did you sign this lease?
Yes, I did.
Okay. On clause number 6, it says any losses or damages of tenant's property or personal injury shall be covered by tenant's own insurance. Landlord is not responsible for tenant's damages of any kind. Did you have insurance?
I didn't.
How are you going to get around this?
Because there's a difference between a loss of... I'm not suing him for the loss I took when somebody robbed me. I'm suing him for the lease he broke.
So the contract says landlord's not responsible for lost stuff, advises him to get insurance and he doesn't. Is he out of luck?
Yes, he's out of luck because he didn't get insurance.
What if the landlord was somewhat responsible for the loss? Does that change anything? If he caused it?
How would the landlord cause that?
I don't know. He leaves a door open or something and people come in and loot it.
So the landlord left...
Suppose he did. Suppose he does. Is the tenant still out of luck? Say yes.
I think contractually, yes.
Good. Okay, go inside the courtroom.
How did he break the lease when you didn't pay July and August?
Because there's a civil matter. He should have taken me to court if that was that much of an issue to him.
No, you're wrong. There's a law called abandoned property, and if you just take off and nobody can find you, if that's the case, I know you're disputing that, but if that's the case, that you just take off and you leave all your junk behind to make it somebody else's problem, and you're not paying rent, the landlord only has to stick around wondering where you are for 30 days. At that point, he turns around. It's been missing for 30 days. I can't find him. I called him. I tried. Then it's abandoned property. But according to him, you haven't even told him, hey, we're leaving, and you can't show me any proof that you ever told him we're leaving, right?
Well, I spoke to him. That
yeah. Watch this. Did he speak to you and tell you he was leaving?
Towards the end of August.
How far into the end of August did he tell you he was leaving? That's the first time he told you he was leaving?
Yes.
Is this before or after August 21st?
The last week of August.
So it's after the guy helped you to get some stuff out?
Correct.
After he tells you he's leaving in August, does he go in and take the rest of his stuff out?
He went in, he picked and chose, he picked some stuff.
When, according to you, was the last time that you were there?
Last week in July, beginning of August.
Is that what your mother told you to say?
No, she reminded me, but yeah.
All right, so the last week of July, why didn't you take all of the valuable stuff if, according to your testimony by then, you had already gone there, already seen that it wasn't locked up, and already had stuff missing? Why didn't you take the most valuable of the stuff to you? Like
everything was already everything was scattered around. We had to.
What does scattered around have to do with anything?
We got a U-Haul trailer to load it.
Was the stuff still there, or wasn't it? The stuff you're suing for?
When I went there, it was pretty much everything was gone.
If it was all gone, then it's your liability under paragraph number 6.
I understand
If it was
that,
all still there, why didn't you take it? You can't have it both ways.
No, we weren't
Either the stuff
taking
is
it.
still there and you didn't remove it, okay, which is kind of strange, or the stuff was already missing and that's why you didn't remove it. And if the stuff was already missing, you're supposed to have insurance on it. You know what? We're done. I find that you have not sustained your burden of proving the case against him. And as far as the counterclaim of $200 is kind of, well, I have my guys clean up. That doesn't a counterclaim make. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
And so the plaintiff's just unable to tack together a story that makes sense here in the courtroom and that can prove your case. So what's your reaction to losing it?
I lost. I mean, I should have had more evidence, but I couldn't get it when he was supposed to give it to us.
And so what happens when you come into the courtroom without evidence?
I lost.
That's what happens. Your story, she gave you every chance in the world to cobble together the story and make it work and make sense, and it just kept falling apart.
Yes.
Because she didn't let me answer the questions.
Oh,
we
you?
do flea markets on the weekends.
Oh.
Certain flea markets sell certain things.
So you have to
So you got to
load it.
bring the certain things that'll sell at that flea
Yeah.
market, and then the certain things that'll sell at the other flea market.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys can get a reality show about the business
Yeah.
out of this. All right, head down the
Out
corner.
back, they got thrown out.
Okay, step on in here, sir. And so you win this case, and what's this been like? It's a tough business. You run a tough business there.
Yes, I think $200 a month is very cheap already, and then I still get into trouble. I still cannot get my rent, and in fact he told me that I have to rent a dumpster for him to throw away the garbage, and I did not. I said you are supposed to get the dumpster for your stuff, and so he left the garbage there. It's a big mess.
That's yours now.
Well, it's already thrown away.
Harvey?
I got to tell you something. We have seen these cases with Michael Jackson even, where he rents storage space, doesn't pay, and all of a sudden it's the storage company's property. It all says in the contract when it's abandoned. It varies from place to place. Read it.